to Level Up Sports 10. To all my sports fans, appreciate you tuning in. I'm here today, as you can see, to talk about yesterday's wonderful Thursday night matchup. And it was a thriller, as we all seen. And Kirk Cousins is continuing to prove a lot of people wrong, include a couple of us in our group chat, our sports talk group as well, as you have seen through the streams a few times as we spoke on Kirk Cousins. I noticed they both had some great drives to start the game, going back and forth, followed along with missed field goals, turnovers. But I noticed that the defense on both ends had stepped up at different points during those times in the first quarter, as well as the second quarter also. One thing that I'm noticing about the Buccaneers is that if their offense don't get rolling on the rushing side, that it's kind of tough for them to get things done offensively. That means to play action pass to Mike Evans, they can kind of shell into him and things like that. Excuse me, I had to take a sip of the coffee. So, one thing about the game, as we got to that fourth quarter, it was about 6.5 minutes left. We had Atlanta with a 3rd and 6. They missed a field goal. Then there was a fumble by Tampa Bay. Then there was a 4th and 15 interception on Atlanta's behalf, and Levante David had got that pick. So there was a hold call that came into play during that drive that Tampa Bay had on the second down, which brought that to a 3rd and 25, which forced them into a punt. And at that moment, we just know when I think when Kirk Cousins has been playing the kind of football he's been playing, you can't count him out in them late game situations. We all know he definitely sits atop of the mountain when it comes to those heroics. And he had a minute of 15 to do some work. And with him already throwing a football, he had been just continually, I feel like, seeing the defense differently and awaiting the opportunity to do even more. So I noticed he got Mooney the ball that first part of that drive, which put him over 400, and the touchdown pass. I mean, and to get him down to get him the field goal. So going into overtime, I felt that Atlanta definitely had an advantage, which was just something that, as the game continued to progress, even though at points where Atlanta didn't have the lead, they kept chugging away. The defense is different. That home field is definitely playing a big part of their success as well. So we definitely got to respect that crowd in Atlanta because they're doing a great job and cheering this team on. And one thing about the stat line, Kirk Cousins goes over 500 yards. Got to give him his respect for that. Have to give him his respect. Not only that, you had two receivers that went over 100 yards. Both of those receivers had over 6 catches. There was 4 receivers that had 6 catches in that game as well, or more. So for that Atlanta offense, I think they're finding a different groove. Drake London, Darnell Mooney, um, some great young talents we're seeing over there in Atlanta. We know what they have in Bijan Robinson at the running back, and as well in Kirk Cousins as a quarterback. I think the system in Atlanta fits him very well, and I think that's something that we need to make sure that we continue to watch because for me, this was a game to where I would see if Tampa Bay was Tampa Bay to where they're a lot tougher than they were last year, or is Tampa Bay a team you got to watch, and is Atlanta stepping into not being an elite team, but making some noise in the NFC and putting themselves, in a driver's seat above Atlanta. I mean, above Tampa Bay, I would say. So, also giving their defense the respect it deserve, you had no 100-yard rusher in Tampa Bay. They had less than, I think I had about 80 yards, was the top rusher for those Bucks. And then you had neither one of the receivers, Mike Evans as well, being one of those, got one the other. Neither one got 100 yards. So you give your hat off to the defense as well in this game for being able to be resilient, as we talk about that a lot. Myself, WTP Sports Dudes, and City League TV. Make sure you go like and subscribe to those as well. Facebook and also on YouTube. Um, we talk about having that resilience, and Atlanta is continuing to show that drive to throw that touchdown to win the game. Not to mention, I think we've seen one of those this year. In fact, I believe against the Eagles. He's looking good, and you got to tip your hat off to him. Only thing that I would see them definitely getting better at is those penalties. They had 8 for 74 yards. If they could have some of those back, I think the game would have been different. But that just goes to tell you they come. They're a resilient team. They're going to continue to play at every second that's on that clock, not stop. Another thing with the defense that I was able to notice was the tackles. They're a tackling team. They had 62 tackles. And I think that's big when you have a game where you have 27 minutes and 38 seconds in possession of the ball. You get 62 tackles. That's a lot of tackles in that amount of time. That means you're getting to the ball, you're getting on the ball, and you're making those tackles. So, that kind of sums it up for me when I look at that game yesterday. I just wanted to get on, make sure I just gave you my opinions about the game. I think Atlanta is a team to watch. I think they're a team to watch. Feel free to comment, leave any questions as well that you would like. We're here always chiming in, just going back and looking at the footage and film to see, any comments, and definitely don't mind having anyone on the show live stream. Just reach out. We definitely would love to have you. So for the Atlanta fans, if you're watching, big win. Continue to bring that noise, man, and we loving what y'all doing for football. Shout out to y'all's organization for doing what y'all are doing and bringing Cousins in, and the shoe fits. Continue to wear it and wear it perfectly because you're doing a great job down there, Kirk. And this is Level Up Sports 10. Peace.